Both players picking blue.
Let's go.
Spawning in the top left position, lad. It is. It is representing Shopify Rebellion. The blue Protoss from Korea, it's ByuN.
You okay? You alright, buddy?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good.
It's getting late, you know.
Oh god, fair enough. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Berlingrad LE, we have our up and coming Protoss player himself representing into the clan. It is FarmY.
Oh, here we go, like TvP, we're back.
Yes, we are back. Again, cherish your TvPs while you can. This is the last time we're seeing a non-Protoss player in this tournament. We'll see how he does here in our final TvP. ByuN did have a hard time against Trap, but mate, it's Trap.
Yeah, you know, you can kind of, I guess, kind of scrap any results against Trap. You know, he's just a fantastic player. ByuN, he just has to reset here. Finally, not quite on the caliber, but it looks like he's going to open with something a bit cheeky.
I love it, mate. I love it. We do have a proxy here in the top right-hand corner of the map. Are you feeling Twilight Council? If it's a Twilight Council, are you feeling DTs? What the hell is this for?
Stargate Light, you'll see. You don't understand this matchup
in the
like
top
me.
right, Stargate.
It's a star. Well, it's too obvious if it's directly at 12 o'clock, right?
It is. We'll see.
So it's 100% Stargate. Like,
Oh,
watch this.
No, watch him throw down a robo.
It's a Stargate. Check this out. Yeah, I told you it'll be a Twilight.
It's a Dark Shrine. It has to be a Dark Shrine, mate. The Twilight has been proxied. FarmY did actually get a Zealot first as well. A little bit surprising here from him as he's going to be sending his Zealot. He actually didn't get any scouting information at all, but ByuN. Oh.
Yeah, and actually, I looked at that SCV path from ByuN. He was going up to this base that's below the proxy, but he wasn't actually going to scout it. So maybe just looking around, he notices there's only one pylon in the main. Something is not right, and we see these adepts coming out. And the Zealot, these Marines could be in a bit of trouble with that micro of ByuN. I don't think so.
Yeah. ByuN's going to be able to clean this up. The Zealot does absolutely nothing, but it does scout at least. It does confirm that there is a natural. There's no one-base play coming out from ByuN, which I guess is pretty important. But there is that proxy coming into play. It is that Dark Shrine. We do have the proxy Robo as well. War Prism is on the way, and ByuN is still in the dark, but maybe for not much longer.
Yes, SCV is northbound, and he's noticed there's still no expansion, and ByuN, you know, normally the Protoss takes the expansion before the Terran players. This is pretty sus, and he's going to go for a look around. I told you, Lookalike, he's checking the 12 o'clock. I told you it was too obvious. I'm so smart.
Yeah, for Stargate.
But where will he go next?
which is why I was never going to be a Stargate.
Oh, he might just...
he checks at 12 o'clock, and ByuN, he's going to be going towards the southern half of the map instead. Meanwhile, War Prism is coming in. Dark Shrine is still not done, though, so this isn't the most cleanly timed execution of the build. Still needs to wait a little bit longer for that DT. Dark Shrine even.
Yeah, and ByuN, however, he's holding on to that energy from the orbital, so he's not discounted as a Dark Templar yet. But it looks like he's going to be in a position. That depot is very well placed.
Yeah, exactly. He does have enough for one scan. About to be two scans. No! The War Prism! No!
Oh no, not only the War Prism, but these Dark Templar. Actually, he's not going to be able to finish him off. He gets one, and there's one left, but expect to see him maybe shift the starport onto these factory after this tank and Viking, and another scan light. He's going to be able to... Actually, it's going to escape.
Yeah, it's going to be able to escape. Every single Marine just went down. There's only a tank and a couple of reinforcements coming out. So FarmY was able to deal some damage, but still no economic damage whatsoever. We do have... Okay, we don't have an engineering bay, not yet, but it's on the way.
Yeah, then we go the DT getting taken out, and I'm wondering, like, would an Archon drop being able to take out those Marines better than the Dark Templar? But, you know, we have the benefit of foresight. This Viking also being able to shoo away this War Prism, but the Archon will keep it at bay for now.
Oh yeah, the War Prism is not done yet. FarmY has not expanded. He is still on that one, but he's getting a second War Prism?
Ooh, you know what that means, like.
Means 2 War Prisms, double the micro, mate. Let's go.
I was hoping you knew because I had no idea that we're going to see. He's coming in the main. This Viking can shoot one, but
The Doom
it's not going
drop
to be able
into
to get through.
the Doom drop into the main. Let's go.
He does. Is he going to drop on top of that tank? It looks like no. And FarmY's just going to drop and unload. And I think with this second tank coming out too, and these SCVs to tank, no pun intended, I think ByuN's going to have a comfortable hold in his hands.
Yeah, GG gets called, and ByuN will defend. He will take game number 1.
Let's see, game number 1 in this series. And a cute little move there by FarmY, trying something different. ByuN, however, very smart, holding onto his scans there, not using his orbital energy, and he kind of a textbook hold, wasn't it? Like, just kind of got both the Warp Prism and the Dark Templar in that first scan.
Yeah, it was very nicely done from ByuN. Like, even though he never scouted the proxy itself, like, he knew the possibility of, you know, of it being DT, so he was preparing for it anyway. Things almost got a little bit out of hand when he, like, all those DTs were just eviscerating his army, but it was a bit of a mistake there from FarmY to lose his War Prism as early as he did.
Indeed, so hopefully going to this match we have something possibly equally as cute by FarmY, but even maybe ByuN could take the initiative and throw something our way.
He really could. He really could. He has the freedom to do so. He's up 1-0 in this series, so he could just clean it out here with a quick proxy. We'll see, because we are going to be loading into a pretty large map that has plenty of room to proxy.
Indeed, a lot of places, a lot of positions, but also we have seen quite a few macro games on this map too, so maybe ByuN feeling comfortable with his superior mechanics or just his, you know, trickiness. We'll have to see either way, but here we go, spawning in the top right position. The man we are talking about, it is the Korean player, the Terran from the blue in Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Glittering Ashes LE, we have the South Korean Protoss player himself representing into the clan. It is FarmY. I love this man.
You love FarmY?
Oh yeah. Like, you know what? Like, watching how he's played so far against Prince and ByuN, I imagine his series against DIG was a quick one. Like, there was no macro to be had there. He just cheesed him the hell out. And it's shocking that that's how that happened. And he's gonna try again here against ByuN.
Yeah, this is actually super aggressive. Like, he's dropping this pylon before the cyber cores even started. So what can we expect to see here?
Oh man, are we gonna see the clover? Are we gonna see just a bunch of gates?
The clover. Unlikely. We've got one back at home unless he cancels it. But here we go. One gate. Could even see a forge. You know, 2-gate forge. A build that is a thing, but most likely we're going to just see just a bit of 2-gate pressure.
Yeah. Yes, and ByuN is going out with his SV, but he has not checked over here on the left-hand side of the map, so he is a little bit unawares for the time being. So he is unawares about said proxy.
Yeah, he doesn't know that this Protoss has moved into his neighborhood, actually on the same screen length. This SCV, however, should be able to scout out. We'll see there is just one pylon at home again. I'm not sure. Do you know the reason why some Protoss players don't, you know, drop a second pylon in the main? Just maybe cut probes slightly, or is it just a bit too not worth it?
It's one of those things where, like, the problem is that in the meta, right, there's even Protoss players who just throw a pylon on the map just cause, you know? So it's like, even if you scout only one pylon, it isn't the biggest tell. It doesn't necessarily 100% mean there is a proxy, but it is FarmY. So ByuN should be aware. Bunker's on the way. Like, he knows something's wrong.
Yeah, unfortunately though, this Stalker in the forward position is actually going to drop before the Zealot even gets halfway across the map, and he's going to be able to pick at these Marines, or is he going to get the SCV? I don't like this choice. I'd rather him get the Marines because it's the SCV to help out. I do understand wanting to deny the bunker, but it looks like ByuN's going to get into that bunker and be quite safe here, but with a Robo.
Like, because there was a second SCV, like, the bunker was going to finish regardless. I love how there's, like, 2 proxies. Like, there's like, if one gets found, the other one doesn't necessarily have to be found. So, like, there's layers. There's multiple layers to this proxy.
And then we have another gateway as well, so we can reinforce. But units all over the map for FarmY, and ByuN's gonna see, them reinforcing. It's not over yet, and even a depth coming across the map too. And this bunker, it's safe for the most part, but will it be safe when these extra units rock up?
Yeah, that's kind of the big question. ByuN, he does have a tech lab on the way, so surely he will be focusing on, whether it's a cyclone or a tank or something to help defend. ByuN still isn't fully aware of what's coming his way. He does confirm that more gateway units are here. We'll lose a couple of Marines in the retreat.
Yeah, slightly risky move out there considering what the SCV scouted, but he does know for sure now what he's up against. Well, he doesn't actually, he just knows there's quite a few gateways committed, so he should know. Again, there is no Nexus building, and it is a one-base play from FarmY.
Yeah, exactly. We even have a third pylon being thrown down here. 4 gates in total, and now let's go. FarmY is ready to push out into that natural base. Tank, though, is about to finish up.
Yeah, and actually he's just going to scoop into the main here, and that bunker is useless.
Yeah, unfortunately no bunker here in the main base. Looking at the vision of ByuN. ByuN does spot this, but is a little bit too late. That tank is so exposed. Oh, the force field! Oh!
Yeah, the tank is going to go down like those Marines are kept out of this main. And what happens here?
Unfortunately, we only have 1 sentry, so there was only 1 force field. The rest of these Marines are going to get into the main base. Boys are being pulled. Viking is here as well to help either deal with that War Prism or deal with the gateway units. And can ByuN hold? In a couple of seconds, the second tank is about to pop.
Yeah, that's right. This tank is going to be very important for the hold here. Let's get it out. FarmY tries to jump forward, but it looks like that splash from the tank is going to repel him. And even though there's not a lot of Marines back, he's just going to be forced to pick on a depot. His frustration's out on that depot on a CV.
That he is. Oh, he has the option if he wants to. Is he going to shade on top of the tank? Is he going to shade on top of the Marines? He's going for it. He's going to commit.
He is, and he jumps on that tank. Splash now gets quite negated as the Stalkers jump on top of the tank, but the repair is going down, and I think ByuN is just going to be able to hold on here.
Yeah, the repairs are just too damn good. The tank will not die. SCVs are falling left and right, but ByuN still has the worker advantage, and he will hold.
Indeed, he does hold him, but that Viking is going to shoo away that War Prism. Just 2 units here for FarmY. If you look at the resource sources lost, even though it's not heavily in ByuN's favour, he does have that natural mining for a longer time. That's why we see the supply deficit for FarmY, and it looks like his push has been held.
Yeah, but you know what, FarmY, he's not gonna expand. It's FarmY what's talking about. He's gonna double down. Immortal production has commenced. It is a little bit late, and obviously, like, this second push isn't gonna be near as effective. Is that Immortal stuck? I think it's stuck. It's bad, man.
Immortal stuck. Immortal stuck.
It's okay. We have a War Prism to free him from his prison. Oh god! But at the same time, Hellion Run by actually gets in and gets a couple of probe kills.
Oh, indeed. 2 probe kills, not a huge thing, but when you're dealing with a 1-base Protoss, all damage is good damage. And as we see, ByuN's up 10 workers and he's got mules. And FarmY, is he going to commit here with the Immortal in the War Prism?
I mean, he has to. Like, there's no transitioning out of this. Here we go. He will get the bunker on the low ground, but breaking into the main base, is that really going to happen? The Immortal gets focused down!
Does, and FarmY, upon losing his Immortal, calls GG. ByuN will take a clean 2-0 series and be our 3rd place player.
GG, well played. Congratulations to ByuN. Of course, he did come in as one of the favorites, one of the Holy Trinity, as you were saying, in this tournament, representing Terran, and what a series. I love FarmY.
FarmY, yeah, he wasn't able to take the series, but he always makes it fun, and I'm sure FarmY, I kind of wish we could have seen that series as DRG now. I feel like maybe a cannon rush could have happened, but yeah, very great run for our Korean Protoss player, if we have a look at it. Taking out DRG, and then Lunacy, and then losing 2-1 to Prince, and then to ByuN. So, great run there, and I'm sure we'll see more of him in the future.
Oh yeah, I look forward to it. Again, FarmY, clearly a very cheesy player, but that cheese works against some of the best. Like, even that game against ByuN, there's a world where maybe if he warped in a 2nd sentry, if you remember, there was that moment where he force fielded the ramp, he killed the tank, and if he had warped into 2nd sentry, maybe he could have just kept those Marines at bay and just wreaked even more havoc in the main base before they were able to get in and help out. There's a world where maybe it's a different game, maybe. Yeah.
At the very least, he would have been able to, because he went for the Viking, he wouldn't be able to get those Marines up the ramp, at the very least risk getting them cut in half. So I agree. I feel like, you know, the second sentry could have really helped out there, but I guess maybe he was a bit limited in gas. Maybe he was just excited and thought he had an extra force on the sentry, but as we see, ByuN was able to hold, and it was an exciting game, even though it was a 2-0. Both games very exciting.
Oh yeah, definitely. Beautifully done, some beautiful cheddar executed by a Korean Protoss player. But we're done with that because now we have our grand finals.
We're done with ByuN and FarmY, and we're going to go into Prince versus Trap. Now, what do you think of this matchup, like?
This is the most unexpected of grand finals that we could have kind of foreseen looking at our initial bracket to start the day, to start the night. You know, I don't think any of us would have seen Prince coming out of this portion of the bracket, but he's here, and it's great to see him here because he's one of those players who is like he's on the edge of breaking into the pro scene. I think he's made it to the round of 36 of GSL before. Or the round of 32, I think, in the past. So like he's almost there, but again, he still needs that little bit more, that little bit of a bump to break in and really become like a household name, because he's still pretty niche, all things considered.
He is, yeah. He's a 6K player and 6K on the career server. Even though career server is not as active and as crazy as it was a few years back, it is still a very high skill level. It's definitely the best grandmaster server, I'd say, overall skill wise. So for him to be so high up, and it's kind of he's no joke, and he's better than a lot of players from other. Even though he's a lesser Korean player, he'd be competing at the top of a lot of you know, as he took out Nice. Nice is one of the best players in Taiwan.
Yep.
He's higher than anyone in the C region as well. So expect to see him. I feel like Trap. It's Trap. You know, he'd be favored, but Prince PvP, anything can happen.
Yeah, it's one of those things where even though Prince is at the bottom of his region, the Korean region, he would be like in the middle or the top of other regions, whether it's North America, South America, Europe, Oceania, Taiwan, Hong Kong. Like, he's an amazing player. It's so difficult to break into the Korean scene, right? It's brutal.
It is, and I guess, you know, he's a product of the very competitive practice environment he's in. So, I guess in relation, he's a bit of a lower player, but compared to other scenes, other players, probably scenes that aren't as, I guess, heavily invested into StarCraft as the Korean scene historically has. He is a very good player in his own right. He could go toe to toe in a lot of players outside of Korea.
Oh